First, let's query Wikidata to see how many items there are that are speaking about, that are referring to a play, the work. As I said earlier, there are 97 million items in Wikidata, but how do you identify or get information out of this huge amount of items? Well, there is a query language that has been built, well, that exists that can query it. It's called Sparkle, but on top of it, hopefully, there exists a query builder that we can use and that is way much simpler. So what we want to have right now is to identify all the play. The first thing and the most important thing that we have in Wikidata when we look at an item, let's pick a random. The first thing that qualify what we are looking at is called the properties. The property is instance of. So now we want all the instance of matching play, the dramatic work. And let's run, and that's it. So choose instance of, and there's a drop down when I start to write that is linked to Wikidata, and it suggests entries. So I chose the dramatic work and the instance of, and then I run the query. Huge Wikidata logo, and I see that I have a lot of results. How many? We don't have a way of saying how many entries there are, but if I click here, show query per surface. Now, this is what I'm doing right now is to show you the power of the tools, not something that you need to remember carefully, or that won't be the subject of the exam at the end. Though it allows me to show you what are the tools that exist, which you can play with. Well, see, I put the limit at 1,000 without giving too much time or to what's the code that is above. And I see that I have more than 1,000 results. See, mother, courage, and our children. Let's look at the first one. Mother Courage, it's an Israeli play. See, it's a play. So, confirm. There's probably 1,000. Let's try 10,000. Do we hit the limit? Oh, 10,000. There are more than 10,000 plays into Wikidata. Let's try 100,000. Let's push the tool to its limit. It takes a few more seconds. Will it time out? No. Woof. And now we have a number who is below the threshold that we set. So we know that there are 15,469 plays into Wikidata, which is a lot of results. Let's have a look at a few of them that has the same name but have different number. I'm a fan of almost everything that is related to Christmas, so I've chosen Christmas Carol, a Christmas Carol, and let's have a look. You can see that even if they have the same name, they don't have the same number here. So that's the item number. This is how the items are identified into Wikidata, contrary to Wikipedia, where you cannot have two articles with the same name. This is something that we can have in Wikidata. It's not a problem. You see that the first one, it's a dramatical musical work. It's an opera by Thea Musgrave. Another opera, Christmas Carol, but this time by Ian Bell, and the musical. don't know by whom, by Alan McKenzie. So you have more than 15,000 entries like those one into Wikidata, and some of them have the same name in English. Now, this is the work that Frédéric was referring to here. But now let's look into production. How many production there are there in Wikidata? Let's go back to our query builder. Up, I'm looking for production, fabrication, location of creation, production date, production code, producer. No, representation of. Representation of. Here you go. And I don't want anything matching that regardless of value. So I want every representation. Let's run the query. Again, go in the query service. Now we had 15,000, more than 15,000 plays. Do you think we have more or less work into Wikidata? Let's see how many we have. Ooh, 154. This is not a lot of production. So the good news is that it's very easy to improve that situation into Wikidata by adding productions. Every production that you had will increase by 0.75% the number of production there are in Wikidata. It's a good thing.
So representation of is the property that establishes a relationship between a production and performances of that production. And there are relatively few performances represented into Wikidata. Reason being, it's of less value to have performance information into Wikidata because performance information has a lot of value before the actual performances, but less value afterwards. So typically, performance information tends to rest outside of the domain of Wikidata, whereas production information can be used for educational, archival purposes and is a greater fit for Wikidata.